Good morning and welcome to the great Australian outdoors. Sand, beautiful golden sand, beaches and water, vegetation, beautiful blue skies. I would like to encourage everybody to get out now and again, at least once, twice a week, as often as you can, every day. Jog on the sand, walk on the sand, barefoot is good, also in the shallow water, or go for a swim, go for a bike ride. All of these things contribute to better health and better state of mind, a better state of mind. Today's talk is we're going to continue where we left off on food and nutrition. And last time we spoke about the difference between genetically modified foods, GMO, and organic. By far the preference, and your preference, should be organic. The reason that food is genetically modified is to create a state where pesticides can be used in the place of workers and manual labor in fields pulling out weeds. So if a crop duster comes along and sprays the crops, then that's a lot more efficient and a lot cheaper. The problem is what they're spraying with, what's being used today by the big corporations, and that trickles down into every level, is glyphosate. Glyphosate is the Agent Orange that was used in Vietnam, and that became Roundup Poison. Roundup Poison has now gone into the food chain, and we're eating that. Not a very good idea. So if you can, opt for genetically modified free or organic fruit and vegetables, and the meats, the poultry and so on, because if the animals are genetically modified, then of course they're going to be eating genetically modified crops, and the effect is going to magnify through the food chain. Unfortunately, believe it or not, the human species is also being genetically modified through various means, through the atmosphere and various other means. However, the main points from the last time were also clean up the fridge and clean up the pantry. But when we say clean it up, what we're really trying to do there is to avoid the processed foods. So anything that comes in a packet is a processed food. Anything that has been preserved, it has had additives put to it, colorings, artificial flavorings, all of these things are chemicals that are ultimately not good for human health, and keep accumulating those in the body, and we become very, very toxic. We put on weight and so on. Artificial sweeteners, another one. So those sorts of foods, I'll give you a very short list. Things like doughnuts and peanuts and breads, pizzas, breads, pies, sausages, patties, beef patties. So that's not real meat. Okay, you want the real meat with the muscle in the animal. Fast food outlets, noodles, fried foods. Fried foods are really very detrimental food to the human body. Lollies, ice cream, sugar, corn syrup, which is a replacement sugar that's very highly addictive, chocolates, and I think you have the idea there. So what do we replace that with? Well, we go to good food sources, and of course we said organic is the way to go, and we can include things like, so I've made another little short list for you. Yogurts are good, but not flavored. Fruit salad, yogurt and fruit salad is an excellent dessert, because a lot of people look for dessert. They eat food in the evening as a comfort food to be able to sleep. That works with our hormones, so we tend to look for that. So yogurt and fruit salad is a good way to go. Organic meats, organic chicken, organic eggs, local milk. So if you have a local dairy nearby, buy the milk from there. But otherwise the milk is processed. It's been put through about 20 processes, chemical processes and heating, that really turns it into something that's not milk anymore, and long life milks and so on. Anything that's long life has got a lot of preservative added to it. Dark rye bread is good, sourdough bread is good. Oat milk is not too bad. It doesn't require a lot of heat to process and to turn the oats into a milk. Organic fruit and organic vegetables. Those are the things you should be stocking with in your fridge, in your pantry, and looking for. Beyond that, I'm just going to talk a little bit more. Remember that today we're expanding on what we had already said about food and nutrition. It's one of the biggest contributors to bad health and also then to good health if you're getting it right. And it's one of the biggest questions that people put to me as a trainer all the time. So hopefully here we can put it in a nutshell and really get that home and get that message into your mind, so that there's no ambiguity. You know what to do and you can detox. You've heard the term detox. No weight loss is possible without water. We are a body that that has a lot of chemical processes going on the inside, and all of these chemical processes work with and within water. So drink water all day long, and if you're going to be drinking water, it should be purified. Not just any old purifier, it's got to be reverse osmosis. Now that's a little bit expensive to fit one of those onto your sink at home. So if you don't have the means to do that right away, that's fine. Buy your water. Puro water is a very good one. Hopefully not in plastic, because then that plastic is leaching into the water as well. So we've spoken a little bit about water there. Include low GI carbohydrates. There's a lot of trend these days, just like there have been trends in the past for various types of diets. There is a lot of trend for high fat, high protein food with a little bit of salad. That's not bad in the short term, but long term it is a great environment inside the body for cancers to develop, and that's something you really don't want. So include some low GI carbohydrate: brown rice, basmati rice, sweet potato, sourdough bread, and dark rye bread. Those things will help with digestion and fiber with the gut. Beyond that, eat salads, as many as you can. Also, and fruits. You'll hear a lot of dietitians, a lot of nutritionists say, well, you know, and a lot of athletes say, don't eat the fruits. Okay, there are a lot of sugar. Yes, there's a lot of sugar in the fruit. It's fructose, and we can talk about that a lot more, but we're not going to. Simply make the comparison. Is it better to eat a pie or a donut or a block of chocolate, or a piece of fruit, or 3 or 4 pieces of fruit? Keep eating the fruit, folks, and the veggies. They're not going to harm you. They're fine. We're looking for health first, and body fat levels later, much later. Let's clean it up and get it right first. Get the big things, the big stuff, and not the small things. Nearly finished. A little bit more on avoiding the calorie counting. We could make up a day's perfect calories with pies and hot dogs and sausage rolls, or sausages on a barbecue. And anything goes into a sausage. You can hide anything in there, add some flavoring, add some preservative, and you've got a sausage, but we don't know what's in there. Remember, eat meat with muscle in it. So we could make up those calories that way, or we could go to clean food, organic. If you don't like vegetables, have a look at stir fries. Also cook at home with these ingredients that we've spoken about. So stir fries is one way to go. Grilling is far better than frying. Try not to fry, because when you heat up oil, particularly polyunsaturated oil, it really mucks up the molecular structure. But polyunsaturated, I would not recommend that oil to anybody. Go for your olive oil. It is a good oil. Another alternative is, I think it was coconut oil, and that's fine. Just go with those. That's also a high melting point and more stable molecular structure oil. But olive oil, good old olive oil, has been around for thousands of years. I haven't changed it. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing with olive oil. Add that to your salads as well. If you don't like salads, as we were saying earlier, just maybe look at including those in stir fries. So stir fries, slow cooker, great idea. Grilling your food, great idea. And then if you want to become a little bit more creative, by all means get some recipe books and make some creative things out of your organic, non-GMO ingredients. Beyond that, folks, that's all I have to say on food. We'll try to keep it simple. It is a very deep subject and there are a lot of opinions, but what I've given you is the common sense approach. Beyond that, I'd like to just add a little bit more. Try to avoid wearing smartwatches, electric cars, and a microwave city. The big message here is a sad message, unfortunately, but we're living in a Wi-Fi world, we're living in an electromagnetic frequency world, we're living inside massive microwave ovens in the city with thousands of phones. Now the 5G is coming in 2020 in March. That's going to be interlocked with social credit points. I'm sure I'd lose a lot of social credit points with this video. So try to get out away from those microwaved cities. And the other one is electric cars. Now, if your car is, if an electric car is worth $500,000 and it flies, that's wonderful, but you're still in a microwave oven. Hopefully I've given you a good health message generally and a lot of good guidelines for your health and for your food and nutrition. Thanks very much. See you next time.